My name is Charlie Megia. I am the Process Engineering Manager. There is a great difference between mass production commercial parts versus low volume, high reliability parts, which is not very obvious to the casual observer. One of them is wafer saw, another is wire bond, and last but not the least would be package seal. For this session, we'll be focusing primarily on wafer saw and the potential problems that may occur for military applications. PCM is another term for process control monitors. This is used at wafer fab by the test engineer or the product engineer to see how well, or to be able for them to predict how well this batch of wafers will come out. PCMs in the past used to be located in a die location. For example, if the die was 100 by 200 size, they would actually replace that location where the die is with PCMs because of the lack of space and because they want to maximize the amount of units to be fabricated per wafer. It was decided to put it in between the die or within the saw street. For commercial application, leaving the PCM in the saw lines is not an issue. And the reason why it's not an issue is because once they mold the part or seal it, the plastic encapsulation will prevent any loose particles caused by sawing through the PCM to remain in place, thus not causing any electrical or functional changes to the part. For military aerospace parts, the parts are actually in an air cavity. So there is nothing holding down any loose particles. As you're sawing through PCMs which are located in the saw street, quite often there are large metal debris, or you may say it's like a burr, like when you're cutting through metal. And these metal debris quite often could be a couple of mils long, which is more than adequate to short out adjacent wire bonds on the die surface. The most effective way to remove the PCM, first of all, is to actually look at its patterns, find out the appropriate blade size to use, and then adjust the saw parameters such that you can eliminate the areas which will be problematic in creating these metal burrs that could cause electrical shorts. There are risks associated with removing the PCMs, especially if you're not careful, because quite often the PCMs could be butted up against almost to the side of the die. And if you're not careful, saw has what you call a kerf. And within the kerf, you do get chip outs. On military requirements, the guard line cannot be chipped out. And if it's very close to the die, you could have a tremendous amount of second optical rejects due to chip outs. The industry currently is focusing on commercial applications, as this is where the greatest volume and demand is being met. Many of these dies incorporate PCMs on the saw streets. Golden Altos has developed a very robust saw process that can eliminate PCMs and the hazards posed by PCMs in the saw streets. We are very confident that no matter what commercial wafer that you give to us, we'll be able to process these in accordance to applicable standards.